Hello gems, my name is Bushnell. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you stay long enough to subscribe. I talk about femininity, personal development, and mindset. If you're already part of the tribe, darling, welcome back. In this video, let's talk about silencing the inner critic and embracing God's grace. I'm going to start off with the first point being knowing the word. This will allow you to have the ability to know God's voice. You know that God speaks like this, and one thing is the Lord will not speak something that is against his own word. It won't contradict, and you won't know his word unless you know God. You know how God speaks, and how can you know how God speaks? It's through the word, right? And I have this practice that I love to do where I override the lie with the truth, just like Jesus did when he was being tempted in the wilderness with the enemy. And that is when I hear a lie, or when the enemy presents a lie that he wants me to believe, I override it with the truth. For example, I don't think I can do X, Y, and Z. When such a thought comes of doubt, of fear, of inferiority, I remind myself that I'm to die for. Jesus was sent by God for me. I remind myself that I am the head and not the tail, that I am much more precious than gems. This is just some of the things that the verses, scriptures I speak over any situation that comes. And sometimes you can Google or chat GPT this. What are the verses I can speak over about this situation? And then something that I definitely love and I'm learning of recent, especially as the year began, was purpose. Listen, the reason you're here on earth is way for something much more bigger than you. Your purpose is much more bigger than you. You can't be so selfish and prideful to think, oh, it's just about me. It's only about how people make me feel or how people think about me. The moment you realize that you're created for a purpose, and that purpose is bigger than you, then small things like what people think about you, the opinion of you not being able to do something right now, your circumstances not being good right now, will not limit you. The inner critic will not have a leg to stand on, because you understand that you're made for more, and that this situation that you are in right now that is causing you to criticize yourself is just a momentary situation that is building up to that space that God has called you to in your purpose. The second thing is consumption, and I've said this in so many videos, but whatever you read, listen, and watch should be something positive, should be something uplifting, should be something that brings glory to God. And I've shared before how secular music messed my self-esteem at some point. Like, I watched, I think, Trace Mziki, and I saw two music videos, and immediately I felt like, oh my goodness, I'm not pretty like the ladies there. And then I realized instantly, see, this is the effect of secular music on you. And so I started withdrawing again from all that secular music. And even the people you follow online, are they people who are making you compare yourself, feel frustrated because of where you are currently in life, and making you have that inner critic? Are you looking at people with a nose that you think should be the kind of nose that you should have, although the Lord has given you a completely different nose that makes you you? So what you consume, you have to be very, very picky with what you consume. The third thing is surrounding. Again, I've mentioned this point of family and friends. Sometimes out of love, they're going to talk you out of things. For example, you want to go do your PhD or your master's, but in your family or in your friends group, nobody has ever done it. Nobody has ever done it in the country you want to go do it. And so your friends, out of love, or family out of love, they'll try to talk you out of it and tell you, you know what, just stay and do this. We don't want you to see you heartbroken and broke because you've spent your finances on trying to go outside the country or whatever. They can put a voice in you, or they can plant a voice that tells you you'll never be able to get there. Nobody in your family has done it. Nobody in your friend group has done it. And you'll repeat it over and over again. And I think I was watching a documentary on the MI6, or was it MI5, this thing by the CIA, where they'd take a person and repeatedly they'd repeat things like your mother hates you continuously as they slept. And what will happen is it will mess up with their brain, it will mess up with their psyche. They were experimenting on people. So there is power clearly identified by the CIA on how the voices you listen to can impact how you think of yourself and how you view the world. And this is important, why you need to have mentors, people you admire, people who have already achieved what you'd love to achieve, speaking over you, training you, guiding you. So reach out to a person, or if this person is online or lives in a different country, you can watch their content and consume it, and have them mentor you in that space. But also when it comes to surrounding, I have to talk about the literal living space or your working space. If you live in an area that people here only talk slang and you're here speaking eloquent English, you'll be looked upon different. When you're dressing in a manner that is classy and people here do, raggedy, ratchety dressing, you'll be looked at, people will hate on you. Like, who do you think you are? And such people can pull you down and bring you down and make you think that you're trying too much. Well, honestly, you're just leveling up. Well, honestly, you're just an eagle among chickens. And you have to honestly just move from that place. And there's this thing called the law of proximity. You're more likely to succeed and become a billionaire or millionaire if you're in Silicon Valley in California than if you're in some, ghetto place in some place that we don't probably even know. Okay? That's really important. Even the workspace you work at. I remember leaving a workspace because these people, one of those colleagues of mine literally said, I talk too much English. And I was like, yeah. And I tried to cope and, fit in by speaking more of Swahili. And I said, this is not who I am. And hey, I quit. The final thing is keeping promises to yourself. Now, you're going to have to do this. You're going to set goals, and then you're going to break down those goals into a manner that you're going to achieve them. It's like a ladder. The goal is at the top of the ladder, and each step is how you're going to achieve that goal. For example, you want to have a capsule wardrobe that has everything that you desire as a feminine woman. And so what you're going to do is break it down. Okay, make this amount of money, set this amount of money, and then shop at this specific place. Buy this first, then this next, then the other, research about this. Then eventually by the end of the year, you'll find yourself at the end of that goal. But you're going to have to first set and then break down those goals. And of course, you need accountability, whether it's self or with others, whereby you keep yourself accountable, probably by reward systems, or you can have somebody you trust, tell them about this goal that you're trying to achieve or something that you're trying to achieve, and have them keep you accountable. So I hope this video was impactful, and I pray that you are able to silence the inner critic and embrace God's grace.